I thought that I could bring my own life experience to it, which is why the shows worked
All
and still
right.
work because
All right.
I'm very open about my life and I'm vulnerable. I think if you really
Yeah.
pushed me and you asked me what the other thing is aside from consistency, then I think is being
Yeah.
vulnerable. And I see that even now with the two of
Being
you,
vulnerable.
vulnerable simply
Yeah.
means that you're willing to put yourself out there. You're willing to
Hmm.
bear a bit of your soul to the people that are listening to you.
Guys, and welcome back to another Fire Podcast. Guys, you've been hearing me say this for around 100 episodes now. This is episode number 100, and we have none other than the great, the legendary Khalid Malik joining us.
Right.
But guys, before we get into this calls for a celebration. Ah, it's not working. Wait,
It's okay.
hold up.
Don't
Is it
don't
the
ruin
wrong
don't
way?
ruin your room.
Aye.
Also, don't like hit your. Oh,
Jolly confetti.
We hit
Oh.
100 episodes, you guys. We hit 100 episodes. Oh my god, my room is ruined.
this is
It
why I
is
told you I
gone.
refuse to do
Nice.
this.
This is gonna be. This is amazing. All right, you guys. Salman, take over the proper intro.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna clean this up.
Thank you, Khalid, for
Thank
not
you.
having left the call so far. I really appreciate that. I will say I got balloons for this moment, but I forgot to fill them
Nice.
up. Like I literally bought balloons, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot to fill them." So I can't say anything there. But let's jump onto you, Khalid. You've been You've just been a really wholesome part of a lot of people's lives. And I say that because growing up every day, going to school, to work, me, my family, my friends, we'd hear you in the morning, and there's no other circumstance besides your radio show in which we'd actually feel awake in the morning. And you'd be, this guy who is full of energy. You're like laughing, screaming at 7 a.m. in the morning. I want to hear about where you get that energy from. What's your secret?
So it's funny you say, that I'm up and alive at 7 a.m. every single morning. And I remember getting messages from a lot of people saying, you're annoying me right now. Your chirpiness is pissing me off right now. I was like, well,
Oh my god, really?
yeah,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Okay.
And I get messages. But I mean, to be honest, it's only until people pointed it out that I realized that it was happening. Because for me, it was something that, I am an early riser and I love the mornings. And I think also because of when I was at university, I'd have very early morning lectures. And that sort of, 4 or 5 years of getting to lectures early in the morning, that really, I think, primed me as a morning person. And I think that's where it came from. But yeah, I mean, I think the boring answer to that question is that I genuinely love what I do. And so, because I genuinely love what I do, and I still do, it just, I'm happy doing it. I'm happy going in to do this at 7 a.m. in the morning. And it's something happens to me when I step in or when I'm headed to the studio. It's like an internal switch that goes on. And I think it's a switch that says, grateful for the opportunity, and that there's a switch that goes on, and that's something that
Wow.
unknowingly I live through. But I only, as I said, I only realize it when you say it. Otherwise, never realized it was such a
I
big
mean,
deal.
that's good. I will say,
Oh.
I understand why people get pissed off by your trippiness. I don't get pissed off, but if you've ever been trying to sleep and your mom or your brother or your
Yeah.
dad walk in and they're like, "Get up, let's have breakfast, let's go out." I just feel angry. It's like, I'm trying
Yeah.
to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing
What
is,
is
they'll be
wrong with
pissed
you, bro?
off,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they'll be pissed off, and they're still listening to the show, and they're still texting in. And there's one message I remember I received,
Oh
and
my
the
God.
message was so obnoxious, and the message was, "Am I allowed to swear on this podcast?"
Yes,
or no?
you are.
Yeah, you can.
You
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
It was go back to your fucking country, you foreign cunt. Oh wait, what?
Holy shit. Okay.
That
Oh my goodness. So yeah.
that is
Buddy,
surprising.
I'm from
Man.
Karachi. I do a show from Karachi's 89. Like, how can I go back to my own country? Like, I'm here, bro. Is that like? I feel
Yeah,
like
what?
I feel like it's just your accent and all that, which like might have caught him off guard.
Maybe. हालांकि मेरा बड़ा neutral accent है. मेरा कोई वो लोग कहते हैं, but it's just a
Yeah.
neutral accent. But anyway, so I mean going back. So I just genuinely
Yeah.
love what I do.
That's nice. And this reminds me of one thing. I remember you'd have like callers and messages from outside of the country.
Yeah.
How widespread is your reach? You know?
I still don't know, but I do know
Yeah.
that what I do know is that now, because the metrics with online is so black and white and transparent, I do know that there is a large number of listeners that tune in even today to date from abroad. And I don't have the exact numbers. It's something that it's funny, doing this since 2007, but I actually started in 2004. But ever since I've been doing this, I've never asked for numbers. I've never asked for, so tell me what the exact numbers are. Or, I just never have. Because I feel like if I did start doing that, then my show would just be about numbers. But because I just want to, be happy doing it and not have to worry about this, what we might call the rating system, which is not existent in Pakistan. But then your direction and your attention is somewhere else, and so what happens is that begins to affect the creative process.
Oh,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes down, Khalid, for our show. I'm like literally taking mental notes in my head, like what we can and cannot do and can learn from living legend essentially of radio, of Pakistan radio.
We're talking about the creative process.
Hanji.
Your birthday songs. How many languages have you sang the birthday song?
Yeah.
Do you know? Do you speak multiple languages, or do you just Google birthday song in happy birthday in Persian? How does that work?
All of the above.
Work,
so
let us know, bro.
So when I first started the birthday song, the first one was Arabic, and it was just what the heck, I'll just do this. And I just did it, and there wasn't any intention behind it. It's like, oh, this is fun, and I just did it. And in fact, I remember at the time, the station that I was at, they were very hesitant after they heard it, because they were like, well, we don't know if it's our market, we don't know if the people listening to us would like this kind of thing. And I said, well, let's do a little market survey.
Okay.
And we did a little market survey, and the response was overwhelmingly in the favor of the Arabic birthday song. Like, well, people like it, and they want more of it. And because and when I say all of the above, I mean I love languages, because I've lived in different parts of the world, and so then I thought, okay, wait, Punjabi is my mother tongue, so that was the next easiest thing. And then I thought, what else? Well, the sort of South Asian languages, Central Asian languages. You've got Iran, Persian, Farsi, and a bit of Turkish, and I love these languages. And so I just literally, I Googled so happy birthday in Persian, and I sort of, get a random instrumental from somewhere, and just it wasn't no rehearsal. It was just on air, unedited. So yeah, that's how they began.
Oh my God.
That's
birthday
great.
songs.
I thought.
Those have always been
I'm
so
gonna be
fun.
honest, Khalid. I'm gonna be honest, Khalid. When I was a little kid, I always thought you were speaking gibberish, and I thought you were just like fucking winging your way through these songs, just saying random things. And
I had a feeling
90% of the people just did not know what they were fucking saying.
I honestly thought that was the case.
It's legit.
Legit, brother, legit words. But I mean, I'd sort of overdo the accent, the Chinese, like in happy birthday la, and Khan, and have a good day, have a good day la.
Oh my God, nostalgia is slapping me in the face. Nostalgia is slapping me in the face. Khalid, you have no fucking idea. I'm transported back into my car. I'm in the 7th grade listening to Dynamite by Tayo Cruz, and then right afterwards, birthday, happy birthday. Oh Oh my
That's
god, dude.
yeah,
It's, oh
amazing,
my, memories,
amazing,
memories. But
amazing.
like, acha, Khalid, my turn to take over this part of the show. Khalid, number
Yeah.
one, dude, your impact has been fucking crazy. Simple as that. No, every single person who's at least heard of radio, or at least has been in this, has been part of our age group and everything. They might have heard, like, a bunch of other artists' names, but they all know one specific artist's name, and that is yours. Everybody knows who Khalid Malik is. There's not a single person that listens to radio who does not know who Khalid Malik is. That type of legacy. I don't know how one person does that. Is there like a cheat code to that? Because I personally want to have some sort of legacy like that too, because that's a pretty cool legacy to have. What is the one takeaway on how to achieve that? Like, because it's something that's so rare.
You know, you guys are already there because 100th episode and more to come. It's the consistency.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
it's the doing it even though you don't want to do it. It's the doing it even though you
Yeah.
think, man, it seems like there's a long way to the top of this hill. Especially now when we talk about monetization and online and podcasting, like, man,
Yeah.
why it'd be nice to earn some money, but man, I'm
Yeah.
not. The views aren't there, and we're trying to get guests
Yeah.
और पाकिस्तानी celebrities के अलग उनके नखरे हैं और वो ये नहीं आते या वो
I
आते हैं ये
agree,
जवाब
man.
नहीं देते.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
doing it despite and in spite all of this. That's the key, and you guys are doing it
Yeah.
already. So it is only a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. It will happen. And I think with me, it was just about consistency. It was about getting up every morning, wanting to do it, and showing up. And that's what you guys are doing, right? You guys are showing up week in, week out, and it'll become a part of your nervous system, because I guarantee there'll come a time when you stop doing this, you'll be like, wait, something is amiss.
Yeah.
Something isn't fitting, and
Yeah.
but the key is consistency, and the key is showing up in spite of what people say or
Everybody.
All right.
what people might not say.
Everybody says that. Everybody says that. I might as well just like start
true.
believing it now, because I was hoping, like, you tell us something different, but no, it's the truth apparently. Like everybody speaks their truth, and it
It
is what
is.
it is.
I mean, hey,
It
Khalid,
is.
you've been telling me consistency. So, I mean, if you haven't been
It is the
believing it,
key.
that's a bit questionable.
No. I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe. No. I believe it. It's just that I thought there'd be something else that I might not know of. There must be, like, because so very few people reach that upper echelon of like the top 1% of the 1%. And just talking to one of those people, like, I thought they'd have. I thought they'd.
I
have
mean,
something that I wouldn't
the
know, but it's all there.
the other thing too is I never worried about competition. I never worried about
Yeah.
what other people are doing. I never. And now it's a little more difficult because everything is in your face because of social media. So you sort of, not even if you don't want to, you still see what other people are doing, and that then just builds your insecurity. And so I never worried about what the competition was doing. Yeah, I listened to the competition, and the competition, they're my friends, but I never.
Yeah.
I thought that I could bring my own life experience to it, which is why the shows worked and
Alright.
still work, because I'm very open about my life, and I'm vulnerable. I think if you really pushed me and you asked me what the other thing is aside from consistency, then I think is being vulnerable. And I see that even now with the two of
Being
you.
vulnerable.
Vulnerable simply means that you're willing to put yourself out there. You're willing to bear a bit of your soul to the people that are listening to you. And when you do that, there's a connection. There's a fit. And they say, oh, hey, I relate to this guy. And I think that's what worked also, because I bared my soul on air, and people connected to that.
Oh my god.
Wow, that got really
And we
deep.
did, bro. Khalid, we connected to a whole new level, bro. Like, which is why we have you on. We're remembering you a decade later. Like, dude,
Thanks,
there's very
man.
few things I remember
Thanks,
a decade
buddy.
later. One of them is Dragon Ball Z, the other is Khalid Malik. So, yeah. Khalid,
My list is basically the same.
Khalid, we're reaching
You
the
guys are
halfway point of
amazing.
our episode. So, ask us a question. Ask us a question, bro. You are a host yourself. Let's see how creative we can get.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, I would like to ask you, why did you even think of starting this?
We were bored.
Why?
We were bored. I missed my friends because, like, it was a lockdown. I was like complaining to Sal. I was like, man, all my friends have moved out. I am so bored. I want to meet people. I want to go out. And he's like, why don't we start a podcast? And I thought he was being serious. So I was like, let's do it. And he's like, no, I'm joking, man. But
Oh,
then
so it was a joke.
I mean, he wasn't serious. But then I was like, okay, let's do it. And then he was silent. And then he was like, okay, let's do it. And I was like, all right, we film an episode this weekend. And he was like, no, we film one tomorrow. And
Wow.
we did three episodes a week. You guessed every episode for the first 50, 60 episodes. So yeah, we just, like the idea crossed our minds. We started doing it and we just never stopped.
Yeah.
So
I know the one thing.
it was boredom.
The one thing that kills ideas. Wait. The one thing that kills ideas. The reason I said we shoot an episode tomorrow is because procrastination, especially with a new idea, it would have killed it. If I'm a firm believer, Salman, that if we had waited till that weekend, this podcast wouldn't have existed.
Of course.
Something else would have
We'll
come
never
out.
know.
We would have been occupied.
But
And
probably.
now we're just here.
Yeah.
Khalid,
Well,
what
I
were
mean, you'd be waiting for the right guest. I mean, you're right, because then you'd be like, well, hold on, okay, let's do this, but do we have the right equipment? Do we have the right software? Do we have the right guest? Hold on, maybe we need to, but who gives a shit? Let's just do it tomorrow. It may not look sassy, but hey, we're doing it. And again, that's the other thing. Just do it. If it's the reason you had the idea was because it was meant to take place. So okay, and boredom. I always say being bored is a good thing.
Yeah.
being bored?
It's so hard to be bored nowadays, and that annoys me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Right.
I remember being bored so much as a kid, and I feel like people just
Yeah.
have too much to do now. Like just too much interaction,
Yeah.
social media. Like if you're stuck at home, you could just get on your laptop or phone. If I was stuck at home as a kid,
Netflix.
nothing.
Netflix is like in my Netflix बस बंदा लगाया था पूरी जिंदगी ज़ाया हो गई थी उसमें.
And it's good to be bored, man.
Yeah, Khalid.
Good to be bored once
Another
in a
thing that I want to hit on. Man. Like I did not know you were doing this. You do vlogs now? What type of vlogs do you make? Give us some context. Like are they on YouTube? Are they on a network? What are they?
I still really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it because a friend of mine said, listen, you should be putting... So a friend of mine and a lot of other people that I meet along the way, they keep asking, how come you're not doing anything online? How come you're not putting it? I said, well, I actually don't know what to do because I find this whole arena very intimidating. I truly find it intimidating.
Yeah.
And so I'm like you. I'm like, you know what the hell? I'll just do it. I don't care how I look, or I don't care I'm just gonna do it. So I started doing it since we were traveling up north for the first week of Ramzan, and I have a little team in Karachi, and so they just put it together, and views bhi aa rahe the decent, but koi zabardast nahi, but people were enjoying it and liking it, and I was now, I could understand. I was thinking, I get why people that do YouTube videos get really excited about equipment like cameras and film mic. And I was like, oh man, I'm doing these vlogs now. Like maybe I should invest in a I don't know an iPhone 12 Pro or something, and spend $2 lakh on this thing. But so they're vlogs really about my passion is travel. And so I use this trip to Murray as a means to sort of start this. And it's just my family, myself.
You're monetizing it.
At the moment, तो अंडा ही आ रहा है.
No, but like two birds with one stone.
Acha, you think so? And it's on Facebook mainly and Instagram. But it's just about my day and about the family being around.
Why
and
not YouTube?
People that I interact with.
YouTube?
But because I don't have a fan base on YouTube. I have my larger fan base is on Facebook. YouTube में कुछ नहीं है मेरा. So what I want to do is transfer it to YouTube in the next couple of weeks. But just the idea that, oh my God, YouTube वहाँ पर कुछ नहीं है, I got to start again is like,
I can
takes me back to.
imagine. That was us when we
No, no,
decided
no.
to try out like TikTok
what-
and other
what-
platforms. Yeah. It's intimidating, and we
What I'm
tried
thinking
them all
is that
out.
Just post the same video.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna.
Just post the same video on Facebook and on YouTube.
हाँ
Yeah.
वही मैं करूँगा अब जिस उसको मैं वहाँ अपलोड करके छोड़ दूँगा and yeah वो I will do that.
Okay, one thing that I want to ask you. Another thing that I want to ask you is that this whole vlog journey and everything. How long are your vlogs? Do you have like a specific time limit? Are they like really long? Are they really short, bite-sized? Because I want to understand your format and the audience that you're going for. And are they in Urdu or in English?
यार क्योंकि मैं वैसे ही अंग्रेज़ बदनाम हूँ कि ये ज़्यादा बंदा अंग्रेज़ है
Yeah.
तो it's largely English because that's I see because I never grew up in Pakistan. I only I never formally studied in Pakistan, so I fortunately or unfortunately think in English, and so that for me is very comfortable. Lekin having said that,
Same, bro.
Same,
bro.
there is Urdu in it also.
Yeah.
We are nearing the end, and what I want to know is that I really enjoy this whole podcasting thing, right? And the thing about doing what you enjoy online is that a lot of people say you start to hate it, especially if you have to put out content. Have you ever not liked the fact that you have to wake up and go to the radio station or for whatever thing you're working on? Has that ever been like a problem for you?
I mean, I do get tired. Obviously, I'm human, but I even if I've got food poisoning, and there've been a few times, I'd still show up for the show. But the audience will never guess that this guy might have food poisoning. The guys, the engineers would know because I'd be like, lying down on the couch between songs. But
Oh my
I'd
God.
always show up. And even now, if I do fall ill, my wife will say, "Why don't you take the day off?" I said, "No, I can't. I'm going in tomorrow."
Yeah.
Because
Oh my God. Dude, that
it
work
is.
ethic.
I think it is a work
That
ethic,
work
and
ethic.
it's. You see, the thing is, I am replaceable. Everyone is replaceable. I'm only as good as my last show, and because of the world that we live in now, and yes, there is competition, but again, it goes back to I love what I do. That's the foundation. But having said that, that's still not enough. There needs to be something else that's built upon that foundation, and that is a solid work ethic. That is something that's based on principle, and that is based on showing up and just doing it despite not wanting to do it.
Performing on the highest level, you guys. This guy is performing on the highest level. That is amazing to me. And guys, we're planning to keep our episodes nice and tight for you guys, because we want you guys to watch all of it, because watch time's a bitch on YouTube. But yeah, I guess we're done with this episode. Thank you so much, Khalid.
Thank you, Khalid.
We literally have a living legend among us,
Oh my
and just literally, he's just been spitting
Listen.
facts and facts and facts
Listen,
towards all you guys.
thank you for answering this question about the birthday song that we've had for
Yeah,
so
really?
long, Like it's good to finally like cross that off the list of things I don't know and might never know. So
Yeah.
it has been great. Thanks so
appreciate it.
much.
Yeah,
I
and
appreciate
you
it.
cross it off. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're done with this one. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
another-
so
and we'll
much.
See you guys at the end of another 100 episodes.
Yeah.
Peace. Adios.
everybody.
Bye.